Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, whatever the hell you're listening to this. You're listening to Nerds Talking Sports, the sports pod with Dad Boss. He's your host, Jack Knight, alongside your other host, Tommy Joe. Tommy, how you doing? We're a little light tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, but yeah, I was just about to ask, where's Zach?
He's out on business in California. Not NTS-related business, but his actual job business.
Oh, wait a minute. I actually have an update on Zach. Should I show it to the podcast?
Yeah, let's see.
All right, this is what Zach's up to over on his work trip.
Tell me your name. You blow me off like it's all the same. You lit it fierce and I'm taking away like a bomb. Yeah, baby.
Okay. Anyway, Jack,
yeah.
Back to the show.
Sorry to our video listeners who had to witness that, but anyway, Tommy, how have you been doing lately?
I've been doing pretty good. My life is having ups and downs pretty frequently, but you know what they say, without the downs, you can't have the ups, right?
Yeah, but I think Bob Ross said that in a much more soothing voice.
Like what?
Yeah. Sometimes you need sad moments too. That way you never know when the happy moments come. Yeah.
But how about you, Jack? How have you been?
I've been doing well. I've had some car troubles that have been resolved yet, and if you're having car troubles, this show is brought to you by Recoil Garage, your local diesel fleet and performance specialist right here in Howland, New Jersey. Recoil Garage handles everything from everyday repairs to high-performance builds. With over 15 years of mechanic experience, we've got the skills to keep you moving. With extensive experience in the background and diesel fleet service, Recoil Garage delivers quality you can trust. With comprehensive vehicle services such as motorcycle and power sports service, automotive repair, performance upgrade and custom builds, diesel diagnostics and repair, marine boat repair work, and fleet maintenance programs. Whether it's your weekend toy or your daily driver, we treat every vehicle like our own. You can support the brand with Recoil Garage merch, which is available too. T-shirts, hoodies, and sticker packs straight from the online store. Visit recoilgarage.com. That's recoilgarage.com. Book your service today.
That was a good read, Jack. That was a good read. But yes, everyone over at Recoil Garage is there to help you with all your car needs.
That they are. I mean, Bree's gonna have to go see him in April. Freaking those 2016 Jeep Compasses, man, that always have something wrong with them.
Always.
But yeah, let's get right into it, which is the hot topic lately.
NASCAR, right? Oh, sorry.
Well, certainly. But yeah, that's going to be a topic. But what's on everyone's minds right now? Last night, at the time of this recording, the World Baseball Classic came to an end. What an appetizer this was to the regular MLB season. The only thing I'd change about that is who won the final game. Venezuela won the World Baseball Classic for the first time in their history, beating Team USA. It's the second year in a row Team USA lost in the final. What's so funny, Tom?
Nothing. I just saw the group chat.
I'll check it after. But yeah. Tom, did you watch the game or no?
No, I forgot I was on last night.
Well, here's the recap. Team USA trailed much of the game, like 2-0. Bryce Harper tied it in the ninth with a 2-run home run, only for Venezuela to take the lead back in the very next half of the inning. Yeah, that's going to go down like the Rajay Davis home run, Game 7 of the 2016 World Series.
Yeah.
And everyone was wondering, where's Mason Miller, the Padres coach? He was striking out guys left and right this entire tournament. But Mark DeRosa puts in Garrett Whitlock because the Padres didn't want Miller being used unless it was an actual save situation. Because they were tied, they didn't use him.
Mm-hmm.
Which just goes to show that, obviously these players and managers are still prioritizing the MLB regular season. I'll get to that in a little bit.
Of course. I mean, you have 162 games versus a quick tournament,
Yeah. And I will say this. The USA lost with a lot more grace than their opponents than the opponents they've beaten in other sports lately. There was a Nathan McKinnon who said after US won the gold medal game, you be the judge. Okay, the judge says the USA won 2-1. And I don't remember, there might have been one or a couple players of the Dominican Republic who were upset about, how they lost the semifinal game. And real quick point on that, people are complaining about the strike zone or the final call that was a strike to end the game. I'm like, listen, there's no ABS yet. It's coming. And listen, as long as the strike zone was consistent for the entire game for both teams, which it was, then you really shouldn't complain that much. Dominican Republic had so many opportunities to blow the game open with runners in scoring position and didn't get it done. And you know who else didn't get it done? Team USA in the final game, because their backs went cold. They went 8 for 49 in the final 2 games. And with 20, did I say 8 for 29? I meant 8 for 49 with 20 strikeouts. Aaron Judge in particular, oh my God. 2 for 11 in the 3 elimination games of the tournament. And once again, that's making people question whether or not he'd come up clutch in the big moments. I mean, to be fair to him, he did have a few moments. He had a couple home runs. He did throw out a runner at third in the semifinal game, which definitely got in Venezuela's head. And he had a home run taken away from him in the semifinal game. But still, the narrative that he can't perform, he can't come through with the clutch, that narrative is just going to continue. And an annoying, sorry, you want to say something?
No, you're good.
Yeah, and one annoying thing I got to say is, or more so, something that I've seen lately that annoys me. I see the Met fans posting on Twitter, like, don't ever call Aaron Judge Captain America again. And it's a picture of David Wright from the 2009 World Baseball Classic. I'm like, that would be much better owned if the 2009 team actually won. In fact, this year's team went further. So, yeah, Met fans, once again, can't do anything right.
It seems so.
Yeah. But personally, me being, I'm a diehard Yankee fan. This tournament's only been around for a few years. And listen, I'm excited that, it's getting more popular, that every 3 years we get to do this. But personally, I'd still choose a Yankees World Series win over a Team USA win in the World Baseball Classic.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, this event doesn't have the prestige yet, like the Olympics does. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd still prefer a Ranger Stanley Cup over a Team USA gold medal, but there the gap is much smaller than, say, World Series and World Baseball Classic. But, it's starting to mean more and more to the players. I remember, I think it was Randy Rosarena said that this tournament means more to him than a World Series win. Correct me. Those of you watching this on YouTube, correct me if I'm wrong, if it wasn't Rosarena. And even Aaron Judge saying that the atmospheres for these games were like better or louder than a World Series. And that should tell you something. But it's over. It was a great tournament. Like I said, the only thing I changed about that is the outcome. But the Yankees are coming back. It's almost the same roster, which annoys me. But this time, Garrett Cole is coming back from Tommy John. He actually came back today to pitch against the Red Sox, and he didn't give up any runs. And I didn't see his exact numbers, but this was his first start since Game 5 of the 2024 World Series. And if he's not giving up any runs, I mean, that's a good sign. It's spring training, but still, you want to, hopefully he could ease back in there and be the ace we want him to be.
Oop, little edit there. Had to fix a mic issue.
Yes.
But Tommy, take me to the racetrack.
Racetrack. All right. So this weekend was a little hectic for me to get to watch much racing. Even though I was at Jack Sunday, good hangout Sunday. We had the race on. There wasn't really much going on in that race, was there, Jack?
No, there was only one. Let me put it this way. Most of the cautions were from stage ends. There was only one accident, and I forget who it was, but it was someone spinning out on the front straightaway. And that was the only caution for the race.
I think it was Zilich. I think it was the 88, if I remember correctly. And I think there were others after that one. But I will say, you could say this is the first real race of the year. You had Daytona, Atlanta, which are both super speedways. You had COTA, which is a road course. And then you had Phoenix, which is a kind of a unique short mile. If you want to call it that, it's not really a short track. It's like a mile and a. It's not a mile and a half. It's not really a short track, but it's a mile. It drives like a short track. It's one of those odd tracks, you know. And then now you have Vegas, which is more of those cookie cutter mile and a half tracks.
Mhm.
And you know, it doesn't seem like this new Camaro body for Chevy is really affecting the teams at all, because Hendrick Motorsports seemed to be pretty dominant during the race. Joe Gibbs was dominant during the race. Um, 2311, both their cars, even though they have three. We don't really talk about Herbst, but the 45 and the 23, they looked like they were top 10 all day. You had Blaney with setbacks. You had, I think, Hamlin. Yeah, Hamlin had a speeding penalty. He hasn't done that in a while. Have a speeding penalty. But I think if it was another 2 laps or so, Larson may have caught Hamlin.
You mean Elliott?
Yes, sorry,
Yeah.
Elliott. If it was a couple more laps, Elliott could have came back and caught Hamlin. However, Hamlin had pretty much the best car all weekend. And it was very interesting because what was one comment I made after the race?
I forget what was the comment.
Everybody was cheering Hamlin.
That's right.
The last time I saw Hamlin win in person, which was not Pocono, Dover. It was mixed. I mean, there used to be a time when I'd see Hamlin win and it would just be nothing but booze. But I remember at Dover, it was a mix. Even during the driver intros, it was not all booze. It was a lot of cheers, and it was kind of interesting just to see Denny kind of transform, especially after the NASCAR lawsuit, losing his dad. It seems like the NASCAR fan base is starting to rally behind him.
Yeah, that was good. It was cool to see his family run out to him.
Yeah,
It was
his mom
obviously emotional.
is there. His wife Jordan Fish was out there. His 2 daughters were out there. I don't know if his new son was out there. I doubt that.
I think his partner was out there with the baby. I guess they
Yeah.
have like a Kurt Russell Goldie Hawn thing going on for him.
Yeah, because I know they were kind of like on and off for a while. I don't think they're married. Doesn't matter. But yeah, it was nice to have him out there. Unfortunately, Denny's dad couldn't be out there, and his family wasn't there for his 60th win. But with this win, that is now 61 wins for Denny Hamlin, which now cements him at number 10 for all-time wins list.
Yeah, he passed Harvick.
He did. It's funny because Hamlin was 10 going into the race, and he's still number 10 after winning.
It was weird. Yeah, now he's just no longer tied.
Now Harvick is 11 instead of 10. And I forgot who is the next one, but I know 62 is the next number. And I mean, you have Darlington and Martinsville. Sorry, 63 is the next number. And you have Darlington and Martinsville coming up in the next 2 weeks. So, both tracks is definitely good at.
Yeah, so he could very well eclipse it these next 2 weeks or at some point later this year.
Yeah. But I will say, as far as news on the NASCAR front, news is kind of it's kind of mid right now. Nothing really coming out. I will see, Jack, did you see Hocevar's paint scheme for Darlington this weekend?
No, I haven't. Could you throw it into the chat?
I can throw it into the chat real quick.
The Facebook chat, right?
Yeah. So if you check the group chat, Jack, you could see what the paint scheme is. Like how Zach looked at it before you did.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's a throwback
That is
to
nice.
the Wrangler car that Dale drove. It seems like throwback weekend's kind of dead. I know it's not really like an official thing anymore. It seems like teams are still doing throwbacks for Darlington. Some teams will do throwbacks for the spring race. Some teams will do throwbacks for the fall race. This was leaked about like 2 weeks ago. Somebody took a picture of the car. I thought it was AI, but I guess it wasn't.
mean, it's a very cool paint scheme. I like it.
I will say the whole throwback weekend seemed to be kind of like ran its course. It needed a couple of years off to get. Man, it's got something in my eye. It needed a couple of years off just to get back to where people wanted it again. And I will say the worst part about throwback weekend is when sponsors would just be lazy. they would either be like inspired by a paint scheme and then just half-ass it, or they would like get the shapes right, but then they wouldn't change the colors, and then it just looked wrong. Like they still wanted their branding on the car, 100% their branding on the car, and it would just throw off the whole throwback. Chili's, got to give them, credit here because
Yeah, the only real
they're blue and
nitpick you
yellow.
could have is that the only real nitpick you could have is that it's not Wrangler, but at the same time, Wrangler's not throwing them the money. Chili's
Of
is.
course,
and
yeah.
Chili's
And
is like, all right, let's work with this.
yeah, I mean, I can look at the car and I could see the jalapeno and be like, oh, just pepper to be more specific, or less specific, rather, be more vague. I could see that's Chili's, I see the 77 and I associate that with Chili's, and you could see on the hood it says Chili's, like I don't need that car to be red, white, and green, or blue, because I know blue is one of the colors, to know that that's Chili's. I think that's a good move on Chili's part to not sorry, it's a good move on Chili's part to embrace the whole throwback with the colors, especially a car like that where it's two colors.
Yeah, and you have a soft spot for Chili's. I think that's one of probably your favorite like bar restaurant chain, or as far as chains go.
As of right now, I mean, Texas Roadhouse, but Chili's is nice. No, I'm no longer a fan of Applebee's.
I mean, you don't live near Applebee's anymore.
What's what happens when you go to an Applebee's and the bartender starts shit with a drunk guy at the bar and tries to get you into a fight when you're on a work trip? Yeah.
Oh, that story again.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's not get into that anymore. But thanks for taking us to the racetrack, Tom. I'm going to take you to the ice. As far as hockey goes, I mean, I'll tell you this right now. The Rangers are ass right now. I mean, the positives I could take lately, I talked about last episode. The line of Gabe Perreault, Mika Zibanejad, and Alexis Lafreniere have been doing pretty well. I mean, they've averaged 10 points like the last 8 games or so. I saw some stat the NHL posted, or was it 10 points or more the last 5 or 6 games, whatever. But regardless, they're doing well. Alexis Lafreniere even was named the #1 star of the week this previous week. But I'm still at the point where it's like, I want them to lose. I want them to have the better odds to get Gavin McKenna. Like, they're playing the Devils right now at the time of this recording. The Devils are up 3-2 right now. I'm like, you know what? It's for the best. And I hate losing to the Devils. But you know what? If it leads to a great prospect or great draft pick, I guess you take it. But I guess who I want to win this year, I mean, I feel like the Colorado Avalanche, they're the Colorado Avalanche. They're a team I think I'm going to pick to win the Stanley Cup because, how balanced they are. They got Nathan McKinnon. They got Cale Makar. They're a great team. But a team I want to see go on a deep playoff run is the Buffalo Sabres. They haven't been to the Stanley Cup playoffs since 2011. For context, only one team in the 4 major North American sports leagues has a longer playoff drought. Tom, do you know who that is?
The Rangers.
No.
Oh, the New York Jets?
Yeah. Tom, before the Rangers imploded the last 2 seasons, they went to 2 straight. They went to the conference finals 2 out of 3 seasons. But yeah, they got some talent in Owen Power, Tage Thompson, among others. They are leading the Atlantic Division with 90 points. And, they're a fun team to watch. And they're so fun. I'm mad at myself that I didn't mention this last week. Tom, they had a game against the Tampa Bay Lightning where both teams combined for 15 goals and 102 penalty minutes. That is nuts.
Isn't it 90 minutes a game?
60 minutes, yes. But, there's obviously...
Sorry, yeah, 60 minutes.
But, yes, that they combined for 102 penalty minutes. But, yeah, that's who I want to win. Some other news today, I think it was earlier today. Leon Draisaitl of the Edmonton Oilers is going to be out for the year, and that's just a devastating news for the Oilers. He's one of the best players in the world. They sit second in the Pacific Division, but that's a huge loss. I mean, granted, they still have Connor McDavid, among some others, but they threw in a lot into this year, picking up Tristan Jarry, who hasn't been great since they acquired him from the Penguins, and now they lose one of the best players in the world in Draisaitl. So that's obviously not good for the Oilers. But Tom, here's something I think you could chime in. Some news that broke either yesterday or the day before, or more so, this isn't so much news that broke yesterday. Just we've got an opinion on it. That's kind of news.
Okay.
After Jack Hughes scored the golden goal, give Team USA their first gold medal since the 1980 Miracle on Ice, the puck was taken, and now that puck belongs to the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Why?
I'll get to that in a second. Jack Hughes wanted that puck for himself so he could give it to his dad. He said, quote, "It's bullshit that he
It is.
get." Well, it's a hot topic for debate. Like there's some debate on the TNT panel. One analyst said it should go to Jack Hughes. One analyst said it should go to the Hockey Hall of Fame. Another analyst said it should go to the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame. I'm kind of the belief that, I think I'm of the belief that puck probably should, I think it makes sense for that puck to go to the Hall of Fame. Something from that goal needs to go to the Hall of Fame. Whether it be his tooth. No, that wasn't from the goal itself. If I remember correctly, I don't think Wayne Gretzky's 802nd goal is at the Hockey Hall of Fame. Like that was his goal that made him like the NHL's all-time leading goal leader.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the net that's there that he scored in, not the puck itself that he scored with. He probably has that, if I'm not mistaken. But Tom, what's your take on this? Should Jack Hughes have the puck, or does it belong to the Hockey Hall of Fame? Well, you kind of alluded to it before.
So it's in a museum.
Basically, yeah.
I think we need to call Benjamin Gates.
To steal the Declaration.
Yeah.
Steal the Declaration of Independence.
I mean, that's ridiculous. He should have it. He made the history.
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I feel like at some point or another, the NHL was like gonna try to get that puck. Was gonna try to get that puck from him, or not the NHL. The Hall of Fame was gonna try to get that puck from him. They probably would have given him a lucrative offer for it.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I guess you could allude that to like in racing, maybe a car or fire suit. Like, okay, fine. For the Daytona 500, the winner's car goes into the museum, but it's just for a year. Then they get the car back,
Right.
I
mean, that's like the one downside about winning at Daytona. It's like, okay, it's a great car. You go back there for the July race, like, oh, I can't use this car I just won with.
Because it's not like they get a show car. They get that car. The car that won goes in the Daytona Museum, and it's there until next year.
Right.
I mean, there's the NASCAR Hall of Fame. I mean, there's cars in there. There's, I don't know. I mean, he should have it. I mean, I guess it's a piece of history, but there's other parts of that game that you could use. The net, a stick.
Like I said before. Like when Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal that broke the Gordie Howe's, career record, the net he scored in is in the Hall of Fame, and like there's a stack of pucks that says 802 in front of it, and that's kind of a way to commemorate that piece of history.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. You go to the museum and you're going to look at a puck. You're going to know that's the puck.
I mean, yeah, pucks have like labels and stuff on them.
Make a replica.
I mean, well, they already do that with the Stanley Cup they have on display there.
So let him keep the puck, make a replica, call it a day.
I mean, that's one way to look at it. I mean, I think the Hockey Hall of Fame does have a solid case, but you also bring up a good compromise. But then again, you're going to get the museum goers who are going to be like, no, I want to see the real thing.
Well, you should have done it yourself.
Fair enough. But that's really all I got to say for hockey today or this episode. Tommy, do we have any questions?
We do have questions. We do. Actually, I didn't check voicemails. Let me check real quick. Let me check. Nope, not that pod page. Pod page. I have to sign in again because new phone.
Oh, who dis?
New phone. Who dis? Let's see. No,
No
our last voicemail was 2 weeks ago. You guys got to get. Yes. Speaking of, our lone Instagram question is from Andy Serb.
All right.
Thoughts on Alabama's best player getting arrested for drug trafficking?
That
Damn it!
is definitely news to me.
We're gonna have to redo that because you literally just froze. All right, let's redo that again. All right. So speaking of Andy, this next one actually comes from Andy Serb, our lone Instagram question. Thoughts on Alabama's best player getting arrested for drug trafficking?
Okay, this is news to me. I mean, this is
okay.
Okay.
I have it here.
One more time.
So Alabama's Aiden Holloway found with 2.1 pounds of marijuana.
Of marijuana? Jeez, I thought it was going to be something like cocaine or heroin or methamphetamine.
Holloway, who was removed from campus and is not with the team days before the NCAA tournament because of the arrest, told police he wanted to exercise his Miranda rights and remain silent during the search of his apartment, but then told the police he only smokes.
Oh, okay.
That definitely sounds like major
red flags,
major playoff implications if he's the best player on the team and he's not going to be playing in March Madness.
I know. I mean, speaking of March Madness, this is the first time I've filled out a bracket in years. I would, like I said,
where'd you put Alabama? You might want to change that.
I think I have to. Thankfully, I have till tomorrow to change it. But yeah, that's obviously not good for Alabama. And obviously he's entitled to his day in court, innocent until proven guilty. But that's obviously not good for Alabama. So we'll see what comes of that for him. But yeah, before your brackets lock in, look where you put Alabama.
Yes.
But yeah, that's obviously not good for Alabama. But geez, at the same time, like, don't be doing stupid crap like that when you got March Madness coming up, man. By the way, next question.
Oh,
I
can't see the entire first one from Justin.
Is it on Facebook?
It is on Facebook, but I can't well, I'll go with the second one.
Okay.
Aaron Judge is the Josh Allen of baseball. Is this a fair take?
It is a fair take because Josh Allen, like Aaron Judge, has a reputation that he can't get it done in the big game. And like there might have been some moments where he's got the flair, but most of the time, it's not getting the job done. The furthest the Bills have gone, what was an AFC championship. Aaron Judge could at least say he's been to a World Series, but that was off the back of a clutch Juan Soto home run that gave them the insurance they needed against the Cleveland Guardians in 2024. And they lost that series to the Dodgers, and I am curious. I kind of want to see, I want to compare what Aaron Judge's playoff numbers are compared to Alex Rodriguez's playoff stats with the Yankees if you exclude 2009. Because prior to 2009, A-Rod went like 2, maybe even 3 postseasons without getting a single hit. And that's just speaking of A-Rod, he predicted before the game against the championship game against Venezuela that Aaron Judge was going to have 2 home runs that night. Yeah, once I heard that, I was like, yeah, he's not going to do anything now. But I think that is a fair assessment. Josh Allen and Aaron Judge are both players that have been mediocre in clutch situations. And, Until they break that, they deserve that reputation.
So, hang on. So the part of the question got cut off for Justin's second question, but I'll read up to what it says. So if the New York Jets get the first overall pick in the 2027 NFL draft, do you think the Mannings, I'm going to guess what he says here, do you think the Mannings will prevent Arch Manning from being drafted? It ends at AR, so I would assume he's talking about Arch Manning getting drafted to the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, history has a funny way of repeating itself. I mean, from what I understand, Arch Manning hasn't really been all that impressive in college. So
No.
I don't think we
You know who
really
else
have
wasn't
to.
impressive in college?
Who?
Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady. He lost the Super Bowl 3 times, twice to Eli Manning, and once to a backup QB in Nick Foles. As a matter of fact, the Patriots lost the Super Bowl more times than any other team in the NFL. Like that's just sad. How do you let that happen? But yeah, I don't. Well, I think if Arch Manning does go off next year, and the Jets have the number 1 overall pick, and Arch Manning makes himself the projected number 1 overall, I wouldn't be surprised if the Mannings do tell him to stay a year in college, because it's happened before. The Jets had the number 1 overall pick in the 90s, and Peyton Manning was like, I'm going to play another year in college.
Or it could be like Eli.
Could be, yeah, and just not want to play there. So it runs in the family. He might not want to go to the Jets.
Yeah.
But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I mean, like I said, I was talking, my dad gave me this prediction, and I ran it by my brother-in-law, and he said it's really not a bad idea to get Simpson from the Crimson Tide with the 16th overall pick. And I don't hate that idea. Just the Jets I keep dropping this thing. The Jets just cannot develop quarterbacks for the life of them. It's like, okay, you could draft him. You just have to develop him and get it right this time.
Yeah. I mean, are there any personnel changes, staff changes for the Jets going into next year, or not yet?
I mean, I know Frank Reich is there. I mean, there's definitely, the Jets had a hard time adding coaches to their roster for obvious reasons, but eventually they got it done.
Oh yeah, Frank Reich is going to be the defensive coordinator, right?
I think offensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah,
he was a quarterback.
Offensive coordinator, yes. I mean, he did well in Philly. He didn't do that well, right? He was with Philly before the Colts.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what his exact position was.
I think he was offensive coordinator for the Phillies. I believe Eagles for Philadelphia. Before going to Indianapolis.
Gotcha.
Right?
If only Zach was here, he'd be able to verify that. And I'm trying to confirm that, but of course, Pro Football Reference is taking forever to load. And of course, I brought up his player stats, not his coaching stats.
Let me check that up real quick. Frank. Why can't I not spell Frank? I'm spelling Franch. I am tired. He was on the Eagles Super Bowl winning, the first Super Bowl winning team. Yes, that's what I thought. And then he went to the Colts. And then that turned into, not good. Not good. Not good. Not good at all that we had to get Jeff Saturday to tank the rest of the season to get Richardson. Ugh.
Well, hey, you have your quarterback now, so.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. But anyway, that does it for questions, right, Tom?
Yes. So, reminder, every week that we record, the day that we record every week, we'll put out a story, and on that story, there'll be a prompt for you to submit your questions. Alternatively, on that same story, there will be a link down at the bottom. To click on that, takes us to our website. Bottom right corner of our website, there will be a microphone icon. Click on the microphone icon, and you can leave us a voicemail and have your voice heard on the podcast.
That's right. Yeah, relatively quick episode today. That's what happens when Zach's not here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add, Tom?
No, I think we're good. I think it's time to wrap this up. Tie
All
the
right.
knot.
But yeah, if you made it this far, thank you very much for listening. Thank you again to Recoil Garage for sponsoring this episode. Be
Yes.
sure to follow us on Facebook at Nerds Talking Sports and on Twitter at N_T_S_podcast. And be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. This is Jackknife alongside Tommy Joe. Have a wonderful night, everyone.